Hello. Well, today we are going to talk about the different kind of qualitative research you can do mainly in a focus group, and that will help participants to open up. It's quite creative, unusual, and basically will help you to get the information that is in the very, very deep mind. So let's start. We have different kind of types of qualitative research. It can be word association, sentence completion, picture interpretation, words idea, collage, laddering, role plays, and separation and reunification. So let's start with the first one, word association. I'm going to give you an example. For example, when I say Versace, what comes to mind? So basically, some participants can say luxury, Italy, Rome, Gianni, Donatella, expensive, net-a-porter, pret-a-porter, many things. And that will give you also words that you can use to help the brand to grow. It's very good, or it's a good idea if you ask the participants to write their questions down before they say it out loud, because that will prevent to have the group think, in the sense that, imagine if I say out loud, expensive, and then everyone will say, oh yeah, that's true. But maybe in the first mind, they didn't think that, so that wouldn't help. Let's go for the second one, and that is going to be sentence completion. And basically, what this thing really works with is this. What you're trying to achieve here is to basically identify unmet wants and needs for the participants. You give them two unfinished questions, and they have to complete them. So, for example, when it comes to shopping, the one thing that makes my hair out is, I don't know, be waiting alone a lot of time in the queue, for example. And it's also a good idea if, instead of saying when I, maybe you can say when he or she, you project it on a third person, because that will make the participant not to be that shy and be able to project himself or herself in that person, that animate person that you are talking about. Then let's go for the third one, that is called, I'm telling you now, picture interpretation. Okay. So basically what you do here is you show the participant a picture, and then you have to ask them what they see in that picture. And here you have two good tests to do that. That is the Rorschach ink blot test and thematic perception test. So for example, if you ask me what I see here, on the picture here, in the left hand side, what I see is two wizards cooking. Maybe you see absolutely something absolutely different, and that's fine. And if you ask me what I see here, I see a woman crying because her husband is very ill, and the doctors think that he might die. Yeah? And for example, I was reading something the other day, and people were posting that she just discovered that he was unfaithful. Then another person was saying that the guy got drunk, and she's very sad because she's very unhappy. So you can get different kind of questions, different kind of answers about this. Let's go for the next one. Cartoon completion. Okay. So you give them a cartoon, and then you have to use the balloons for them to write a dialogue, and they can write whatever they want about. And basically, it also helps you to understand what they think about I don't know, a situation. For example, here what I see is this person or this woman is talking by the phone and then is trying to resolve a client's issue, right? And maybe some people might think that maybe she's talking with the family, or maybe she's getting a call from her boss, or maybe she's trying to fix his computer through a phone call. So it can be, like I said, many different answers. Let's go for the next one, sorry. And this is worst idea. Okay, so this is a very good thing to do. Usually for people it's kind of difficult to think about a very good idea. But what they obviously know is something that they don't like, right? So for example, if I don't know, imagine I've got my bag, I was wearing my backpack, and I was having my toothpaste there, and then suddenly the toothpaste spilled, and uh, all my things in there were sticky, right? Because sometimes when you get toothpaste, it can be quite sticky. So what was the worst idea? For example, in my case, what I would say would be like, okay, so get the rest of the toothpaste and just spread it through all over the backpack and keep using it, for example, right? So that's exactly what you don't want. But it's a good idea because then they can transform that bad ideas into good ones. So maybe, I don't know, you can think about maybe um, creating a backpack that maybe if toothpaste spreads or spills, will not get sticky, or maybe you can remove it very easily. So yeah, you can get different approaches. And then let's go for the next one. Let's do this. Whoop, now. Okay. I did this actually when I was working in Mexico for the government, and it was election. We were having elections, and sometimes it's quite difficult for the participants to open up, because actually the party I was working with, it was the party that was in the government. So maybe the participants can feel that maybe we were going to be judgmental, or maybe take it on them if we won, right? So what happened is that we knew that we weren't going to get an honest answer for them, whatever the situation, because they weren't able to open up. So what we did is this: we told them to come to this fancy place in a hotel. I think it was a good set for them to be creative. And then we gave them some papers and some magazines. And what they had to do is we gave them two topics. First topic was, what were they thinking about the actual government? And the other topic was what they were thinking about our candidate. So we got them to grab some magazines, and then they had to cut. They could cut pictures, they could cut um, letters, anything, and then they had to paste it onto the paper. And we got some good information in there that probably they weren't able to share with us. Like, for example, they were seeing the government as, or of the people in the government as thieves that were just thinking about themselves and not caring about the poverty in Mexico, because in Mexico there is a very, very big percentage of people that lives in poverty. We already knew that, so that wasn't like very big news, but at least it helped us to confirm what we knew. And then for our candidate, it was good because we understood how the public was seeing him, and that helped us to actually create the campaign and basically use the right words to connect with the population. So that indeed was very, very helpful. And then, for example, I'll give you examples. So here you can draw it, they can do it, but sometimes people can feel a bit like, I'm not too sure, because maybe they don't draw very well, or maybe think maybe this is not for me. This one, that's exactly what we did with the focus group. And yeah, that's a good idea, because also the participants get very relaxed. They talk with each other. So yeah, it was good. It was good. And then let's go for the next one, lathering. Okay, this is also used when you do an interview in politics, right? So usually people don't get to say their mind at first, right? So we try to hid what we really think about a situation, a person, or something. So what you do is this: you start lathering. That means that you start asking the person the same question about a topic or a subject, and then after you ask them the same question 5 or 6 times, then they will finally come with a good answer that will give you an enlightenment, basically. So, for example, let me think. I'm just improvising, so I'm trying my best. For example, talking about again the toothpaste, right? You can, for example, ask, what do you think is the most important thing in a toothpaste? And they will be like, for example, that it doesn't spill, right? And then you will be like, okay, what's important? Why is important for you? And they will be, yeah, because it's very annoying that it spills everywhere, blah blah. It's very messy. Okay, and why is that important to you? Because I'm a very clean person and I like to keep my things uh, clean, tidy. Okay, and can you give me more information about that? Why do you feel that the toothpaste can be something that can make mess these things up? And maybe that finally the person will come with a good answer that is like, okay, it's because when I'm going to the gym and then I'm having my backpack with me, it spills, and that means that I have to clean the backpack or maybe put it in the washing machine, etc. Okay, so now you have a good information there. Now you know that you need to create a toothpaste that is going to be very secure in order for it not to spill. Because that means the person that is using it will have to invest the time that maybe can invest in something else or in someone else in order to get the backpack clean again. So it's time consuming for them. So that's, for example, a good piece of information. And that's an example. And this is also good when you are working in an interview, for example, with a politician. When I was doing the masters, it was exactly the same. We were basically practicing and rehearsing to interview politicians, and that's how you do it. You basically put them into a corner where they can kind of not escape, and they have to answer